So in this episode, something a little bit different. While I was out in Los Angeles catching up with my friend Mark, he introduced me to the head of the pitch in the SoFi Stadium out here in Miami, Justin. So stand by for some really interesting insight. If you've ever sat watching the pitch and thinking, how do they do that? Then here's some answers to those questions and a different take on this World Cup and all the endeavour that goes in to bringing these matches to life. Here's Justin. So I am with Justin Lang. Tell me your job role, Justin.
I am the pitch venue manager for SoFi Stadium.
That's so cool.
And I oversee all turf preparation and sort of anything to do with pitch. That's my role.
Yeah, kind of describing that in a quite understated way, but that is the focal point. That's why we're all here. All this nonsense going on around it, but the pitch is the heart of it all, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So the pitch, and the thing is, this has been years in the making with a lot of research, data, trials, that sort of thing. It's been universities have helped with the data research and professors and all that sort of thing. So it's kind of not something that's just been slapped together overnight.
No,
we've had a lot of trials and
so the SoFi Stadium, which you're focused at here in LA, is semi-covered. Oh, and the roof is covered, but there's air coming in as well, isn't it? Does that make it a unique thing?
It's a fully covered roof, so it does block out. Even though it's translucent, it does block out a little bit of natural sunlight. So we've got light rigs to help supplement any deficiencies in sunlight. So, and there we've got probably 12 light rigs, and they produce PAR light, which is active radiation. It doesn't try and replicate the sun, but it just supplements any deficiencies in the plant that the sunlight doesn't deliver. Because you've got to imagine too, you got the seating bowl and you got the scoreboard up there. It all blocks out the light. So at the moment we're reaching our minimal targets, which is good. So which helps build up the carbohydrates in the plant and gets it through. And so far it's okay. So
when was your pitch laid ahead of the tournament?
To go back probably one step further, we installed it on the farm 12 months prior. So
where was that farm?
It was a farm in Washington State. So it's about an 18-hour truck drive if you talk about truck drive hours. So, and it was up there because the farm had good resources. It was a good climate for the particular type of grass we were growing, Kentucky bluegrass and ryegrass combination. So for people in the UK, I guess ryegrass is very common over there. So
right. That's standard stuff for sports pitches around the world. Is that a kind of renowned combo?
It's interesting because we're in a cooler climate. Well, when I say a cooler climate, I'm talking about the microclimate in the stadium.
Right, yes.
So some pitches are cool season, which is ryegrass and bluegrass, the same as us. And then there's a lot of pitches throughout the tournament in different places that are Bermuda. So that's a creeping grass. Ryegrasses tend to grow upwards. Bermuda grasses tend to creep. So
wow.
And Bermuda grasses need more sunlight and more heat to operate.
So when did you become a grass expert, Justin? How did you get to this point in your life?
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm from Australia. I'm from the land, from a farm. So it's kind of always been in my blood. The horticulture, agriculture background. I play a lot of sport as a kid. So, you kind of get interested in that sort of thing.
Those two things converge in this.
Yeah. And look, for the people in England, I guess, I played a lot of cricket and curated cricket pitches and had a grass tennis court on the farm and that sort of thing. So I guess, that was my destiny, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because I was about to ask you about that, because amongst the profession, you've got the grounds people who work in cricket grounds who are under such pressure about what they deliver and how it affects the outcome of the game.
Yeah, 100%.
To what extent do you feel like in football or soccer, as it is over here, the grass affects who's putting pressure on you from the teams, for example?
Well, it's interesting. We've got a pretty set standard within FIFA, so there's certain requirements. Grass has got to be cut at a certain height. All the pitches are reinforced, so it's 5% artificial, 95% natural. So some are carpet hybrids with fibres. We've got a carpet hybrid, so it's actually a carpet laid at the farm, and then it's woven with sand in between, and then seed, natural grass put in it. Some pitches are natural pitches, and then they've got a stitching machine that come in and actually stitches the fibres into it. So And that just helps for stability and uniformity.
Yeah.
Look, all pitches are different, obviously different climates, different areas, I guess. So
Yeah.
it's, the same. They're not going to be all the same, right? So, but this helps try to uniform a bit better.
And I'm not trying to be controversial here, Justin, but I've read, there's a bit of pressure on the New York pitch now, which obviously is going to be the final. There's very little respite time between the games to do much about it. What can they practically do to try and solve some of the issues that they're facing in this time that they do?
It can be a little bit hard, obviously, once the pitch goes in and it's established with a bit of wear and tear. Now, there's not a lot they can do. So just general maintenance.
Yeah.
Like they can groom the pitch or aerate the pitch, different types of fertiliser.
Yeah. And they're going to be more weather dependent than you guys. And
So
some storms. Will that help or hinder?
Look, it can be a hindrance. And like in the turf industry, I say there's no 2 days the same. When you're dealing with a living, breathing thing, right? Every day is different.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're treating it like one of your own children, kind of thing. So it just throws up a few challenges. But like we seen last night with the pitch in Philly, we had a massive thunderstorm, and you just can't predict that. So you can prepare for it, but you can't predict it, right?
Yeah.
So,
and you mentioned them being like your children, but these guys have developed names, haven't they? This pitch, it's got a character.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure about the other venues, but we had a staff member who's right into his local LA history, and he named it Phineas. I'm not overly sure the history behind the name Phineas. I think he's a local explorer, I believe. So, and it just stuck. So everyone now has been calling the pitch Phineas. So he's actually got a name, believe it or not. So
stay off Phineas.
Yeah. Stay off him. Let him rest. Let him recover. Let him do his own thing. So, and that's been the word. Yeah, we just tell people that if you don't need to be there, don't be there, kind of thing. So yeah.
And what does it, just lastly, because I know you've got to head off back to
fine.
the stadium, but in terms of the fans in the stadium, how do they affect the pitch? Because you've got a lot of body heat, a lot of oxygen, a lot of energy. How does match day versus an empty stadium?
It's a living plant, so absorbs the CO2. And then through transpiration and that sort of thing. So it actually, I guess, for want of a better phrase, it's a big carbon sink. So it actually absorbs CO2 out of the air. So in a way, I guess we're helping the environment.
So more chanting, more singing, it's helping.
Yeah, to a certain point. To be honest, it'd be interesting to do a study, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
How that affects it. So
a lot of Scottish fans shouting at trees in a forest and see how it does.
Exactly. Plenty of vibration, plenty of CO2, so yeah. Yeah,
it's amazing. And what's it like on Fan Day from an experience for you being down there and feeling the energy at this World Cup?
Look, it's been unbelievable. Like, these opportunities don't come around often, so you got to take it with both hands. Like, you're here to work and get a result, but on the other hand, you need to absorb it too. You need to just sit back sometimes, like anyone, and just absorb it and see the fruits of your labour, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's been good. Like, we're pitch side, so any little thing that happens in the stands or that you can observe and just take it all in. So that's been probably the most enjoyable part of it, because the lads have certainly done some long hours, and we've had our challenges along the way, and plenty of heartache, but there's plenty of rewards too.
Yeah.
So
one more question, if you don't mind. I just want to ask about sprinklers and watering, either mid-game, pre-game. What's the rationale for that when some teams want it zipping around, some teams don't?
Yeah,
how do you
do
objectivity with that?
The teams who like to sit back and have a little, a defensive, like it slower, because it's easy to defend when the pitch is slower.
Yeah.
But the more attacking teams like it faster. So that's pitch watering helps the ball speed up. So if there's an air ball, hits the surface and it's wet, it'll just skid on for the attacker to run onto.
Yeah.
If it's dry, the ball will slow down. There's a lot more friction when it's dry, and the ball just naturally slows.
So there's got to be some objectivity around that. Someone's got to make a decision about that based on the hydration it needs, plus a kind of fairness.
Yeah. So generally the rule of thumb is we'll water before warm-up, before kick-off, and again at half-time.
Yeah.
I know the outdoor stadiums have watered during the hydration break that's been brought in this year, where we don't, because we've got the roof, there's less evaporation, and we think it could stay moist for longer.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, being in a roof stadium, we don't want it to get too wet. There's a very fine line between wetting it up for ball speed and getting too wet where it can potentially make it a little bit slippery for the players. So
fascinating.
Yeah. So a lot goes into it. So we think we've nailed most things. So
I bet. Well, I'm going to look, and I'm sure now people listening will look at the pictures with a different lens. So it's really fascinating.
And look, like I said, there's a lot of research and data that's gone into it, a lot of agronomics and that sort of thing. So with nutrition and aeration and all that sort of thing. So
Proper science meets agriculture.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
And the other fascinating thing is the pitch is probably 3 feet above where the natural playing surface is, because at LA Stadium, I should say, they've got a synthetic pitch, so they play on it throughout the season.
Yeah.
So we've had to bring in a drainage cell, which is a couple of feet, then 6 inches of sand, and then the turf product that we've brought in from Washington State on top. So where the pitch is at the moment is probably 3 feet above where it normally is for a normal NFL game.
And for those listening, the SoFi Stadium is that extraordinary one in LA with the big circular or oval screens in the middle of it. And what fans might not know is the stadium is actually sunk into the ground, isn't it? So you actually enter on level 6 at ground level and then actually descend into the stadium in a boat.
Which is crazy in itself.
And that's an anti-earthquake.
And I think it was more to do with they're over in the flight path of the LAX.
Oh wow!
So they had height restrictions on how high they could go. So to fix that, obviously they went down instead of up.
Wow.
So
mad.
Yeah, it's just to think it's in a big bathtub almost. Yeah.
That must affect. I mean, I want to ask so much. Justin's colleagues are waiting for him to leave to the stadium and go get the pictures ready for the next round. Thanks for taking the time. Really, really appreciate that, and such a good insight. And enjoy the rest of it.
Appreciate it.
Give our love to Phineas.
Yes, I will. I'll go and pat him.
Thanks, mate. That's great.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, mate. Isn't that mad? Isn't that absolutely fascinating? What a passionate, brilliant, interesting chap Justin was. I could have chatted to him all day. He said he could have chatted all day, but his colleagues were edging to get them out to head off to the stadium. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Back to the football and the fans in the next episode. Catch up soon.